Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. Just want to do a real quick video here, basically just to let everybody know I'm still alive. I know it's been a little bit since I've posted, so this is going to be the weekly thank you video and just little chat update video that I do every week. First, let me say, I do know it's late. It is Wednesday, and there's a reason for that, and I'll get into that in just a second. I would like to take this time to thank everyone for sticking with me and for being here, being a part of the channel, being a part of the community. I really appreciate you guys, and I had said this a while back, being this time of year with the better weather, busy work schedules, all that kind of stuff, that videos were going to get harder and harder for me to do with consistency and regular on a schedule, and that's proving true. So I apologize for that, and I'm trying to work out some plans to where I can at least do one or two videos every week, but I'm struggling with that, and that may get a little better here in the future. A lot of it has to do with my work schedule, so just when I think I can do something, then all of a sudden we get some mandatory overtime and it just really blows my schedule out of the water. But I do appreciate you guys for hanging in there and being here, especially considering the content's not been there, and I know that's a big part of why people subscribe, obviously, so they can see videos. I did get some stuff done last week, a little different than what I normally do, and I'm gonna try and keep doing some videos like that if I can time, and I gotta figure out how to shoot it. I like doing some of the stuff out of the kitchen, and it's just difficult. I have a very small kitchen, and there's no way to set, or I haven't figured out a way to really set up a tripod and kind of film the process. So it's a lot of handheld shooting, which doesn't make for great video quality. The lighting's not good in there, all kinds of stuff. And I know, the content's still the same. You would still get the message. You would still see what it is I'm trying to share. But the quality level, not that I make, these wonderfully produced, videos, but it just still wouldn't be as good as I would like them to be. Anyhow, I don't want to talk about that all morning. So basically, things are going well. I feel like this community is still growing. People are still giving me positive feedback, and staying positive, communicating with each other, with me, all those things that make this such a great place to be are still happening. And so I really, truly appreciate that, you guys. This would not be happening without you and your support. So, basically, I would just be uploading videos to, the internet. Thanks to you guys, we're building a community. Both the channel and the Facebook group seem, to me, in my opinion, are doing really well and attracting great, phenomenal people. And that's just, it leaves me speechless, as you can tell. I just don't know how to address that or what to say about that without sounding redundant, but I truly mean it. It's just, I have such an appreciation for that, that you guys are being such great, wonderful members of this community. And that means a lot to me, and I hope you understand that. So, with that said, let's just I'm going to just try and do a real quick update, if you will, of how things are going. I don't want this video to run too long. So, work has had a lot of overtime. It's been eating up a lot of my time. I'm having tremendous internet issues. I finally, or sort of, worked out my computer issue as far as, before I was running out of storage to even process these videos. I've kind of found a workaround for that. It's working for the time being. I'm still not able to save the videos like I would like to. I'd like to just have every video I ever made archived somewhere, and that's not happening. I mean, I've deleted so many just so I can keep having room. But anyhow, we're getting there. Internet is still a struggle for me. So the last few weeks I've had videos that have taken 24 hours to upload from our home internet. And for some reason, if I try and do them on my phone, like when I get into town where I have a better signal, for some reason, I don't know if it's an iPhone thing or what, but anything over about 2 or 3 minutes, it'll act like it's uploading. It'll take 20 or 30 minutes, and then it'll just say failed. So I'm struggling with that, and I'll be honest with you, that is taking a lot of the steam out of me wanting to make videos, because it's kind of depressing to spend the time shooting the video, editing the video, getting it to where I like it, I think it looks great, and then it may or may not upload, or it may take a day or a day and a half to upload. Or what I've had happen last week was I uploaded some. I hit upload, but I leave for work because that's about what time I get done processing it. And I'm home, go to work for a 12-hour day, so I'm gone about 14 and a half hours with my commute. I get home, and it's still uploading. And so I go to bed, don't think nothing of it. I mean, I think something of it. I think it's ridiculous. But anyhow, I go to bed, get up in the morning, and it's still uploading. And I had one last week that did that at about 9 o'clock, so I'm getting ready to leave for work again, and then it says failed. And so I, lost all that time. And so, anyhow, I don't want to dwell on that, but it is taking the steam out of it, and it bugs me that I'm letting that, that my internet connection is potentially hurting my content or my desire to make content, and I don't want it to come to that. So I got to find a workaround for that. Still working on it, still trying to figure it out, but we'll get there. Other than that, had 4 days off from work for the holiday. It was 4th of July was yesterday. So for anybody in the States watching this, obviously you're aware of the holiday. I know we have some people not in the United States probably aware of the 4th of July for our holiday, but it may not have been a holiday for you, obviously. So because it fell on a Tuesday, my work, we were off Monday for that. Not paid, unfortunately. I just had the day off. And so I go back to work today. It was really nice having 4 days off, and I had some plans to do some really cool stuff. Anyhow, nothing happened for my plans. So without getting too wrapped up and drug out here, you ever have those days or couple days in a row where you have good intentions and you have plans to do, you want to take care of this and this, but then something happens and it's just kind of like a snowball effect. And then I just kind of hit a point where, like, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to get a chance to do what I want to do. And so I'm just rolling with it, and let's do this other thing. So that said, great weekend. Had a really good time off from work. Had a great weekend. Me and Cindy got to spend a lot of time together, which we haven't been able to do in a very long time because of her school and work schedule and my work schedule. So I was very grateful for the fact that we got all 4 days off together and got to spend all 4 days together, minus one day. So I'll get into that. So she's now done with her school, and so that frees up her time. Now she's working, and that's all she has to focus on. And so that's a major relief for all of us. So the Wednesday nights where she was having to go into the city to do her class, and it was always an issue, especially in the wintertime. Like, how are we going to handle the animals? I'm gone for work. She's leaving. She doesn't get back till late. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's nice. That's great. Very proud of her. She got her master's degree, and just as an observer, to me, watching her go through this, I know I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have stuck it out. It was pretty overwhelming for me as an observer, and as a partner to her, just trying to help out around the house and stuff. Overwhelming, the amount of workload that she had to go through to get this done. So I'm super proud of her, and to me, it's a major accomplishment. And she's finally, she's going to be doing something that she wants to do career-wise, and that's just great. So congratulations to Cindy. I can't even convey what a big deal it is to me, especially to see her do this, and to her, obviously. So that said, she so quick recap of the weekend. Saturday, we got to spend some time with some family. I have some family. I'm originally from the West Coast, and my whole family's out there pretty much. And I have one cousin that lives east of us over in Indiana. And they're just far enough away that we don't get to visit as often as we'd like. But they're close enough that you can go visit, if that makes any sense. So our issue always has been, it's hard for us to leave with the animals because we don't have anybody that can care for them if we go overnight, and or past dark, because they got to be locked in, secured by nightfall. So the summer is really the only time we can make this trip because of how many hours we have to drive. We got to leave early in the morning, get over there, spend some time visiting, then get back before dark. So we took advantage of that. So it actually was, traffic was pretty bad because we're west of Chicago. We had to go through the Chicago area. There was no way to go around it to get to where we were going. And so that kind of, made a little extra drive. But had a great time visiting with the family. And we went out on the lake and just kind of putted around the boat for a little bit and then had a nice barbecue. And it was a really good time. And I'm very grateful and thankful that we had the opportunity to do that. You can never visit family enough. So hope to do it sooner than later. Maybe we can start doing this more often and figure out a way to make it work. So that was great. Sunday, I was home alone, and that's the day I had all these plans to take care of. I was going to shoot actually a couple of videos, and then I could spend the other 2 days that I was off processing them and getting them uploaded if they took a long time, all that kind of stuff. And this is where I was talking about where, well thought out intentions don't always happen. So Sunday was a day that Cindy left real early in the morning, and she was going to see about a horse opportunity, actually a trading her horse for a different horse. And anyhow, that's kind of her thing. And we opted for me to stay home rather than go with her. I would have liked to went with her just because she had to drive quite a ways, and dealing with an animal on the road in case you have a breakdown, flat tire, any of these kind of issues. Not that Cindy's not capable. She's very capable of handling most emergencies that would come her way. But, I just would feel better if I was there to help her in case something happened. Well, that meant leaving one horse home alone. And anybody that has horses will understand where I'm going with this. Horses tend to get what they call herd bound. They get very attached to their herd. Now, we technically just have the two. We had three, and we've downsized to two. And so her being home alone, we knew she would be upset, possibly pacing around. She's a cross with a draft, so she's a very large horse. Great horse, gentle and all that, but when she gets wound up, there's not much will stop her. I mean, she's a big, big horse. So we opted for me to stay home to keep an eye on her in case things started, in case she started getting riled up, I could calm her down, hopefully, and all that. Well, within 20 minutes of Cindy leaving, everything just went crazy. The horse ended up breaking through a fence into another pasture. So not all, it wasn't horrible, but it was still, for me, a little stressful because she's really just running around, would not let me get near. I was trying to halter her so I could get her brought in and calmed down and give her some hay or something to occupy her. She kept running from me, so I was trying to give her a distance and keep an eye on her. Well, then she broke through the outer fence and she was loose. And so, long story short, we went through this twice. She actually came back in on her own after running around the whole property around the outside of the fence, which was very nerve-wracking because one side is on a road, three sides are not. Three sides are cornfields, which is what it is. Thought I had her in, thought I had her, everything was back under control. She seemed to be calming down, and I don't know what happened. About 20 minutes later, I was outside when she did it. She spooked again, and it's like she realized she was there by herself, and she bolted. And this time she got out on the road, and this is my message to anyone that is not familiar with livestock or large animals. And this really even applies to small animals. But if you see an animal that's clearly not where it belongs. So in our example, the road. We have one road, like I said, that runs by our property. She made it out to that roadway, and I'm trying to catch up to her without spooking her even more. If I was just to run right at her, she would just keep running away. So I'm trying to walk as quickly as I can. I've got our halter and lead rope in my hand, and and she's already ran from me earlier when I tried to do this. So I'm trying to get to her without her freaking out. And now I'm a little stressed because she's out in the middle of the road. And that's never a good situation. And where we live, it's not a blind hill, but there is a slight rise, and it's possible that somebody could, it's a 55-mile-an-hour road, so it's possible somebody could come up quicker, and we could have a situation. So that happened. Here comes a car. And she had, by this point, I'm still in our driveway, but she's down the road out of sight. And the next thing I hear is this car honking their horn. And this is going to be my advice to you guys. If you don't have animals, or if you're not aware of this, don't honk. That does not help the situation in any way, shape, or form. If you have a large animal, like I said, any animal, typically your smaller animals, dogs, cats, that kind of stuff, they'll just run and they get off the road. But I've experienced this with cows and horses, and I'm sure other large animals are the same situation. You start honking at them, and they're clearly distraught. They clearly don't belong. We don't have wild horses typically in most of America. There's a few very rural areas that might, like in Nevada or Wyoming. But for the most part, if you're driving down a farm road like where I live, and you see a horse stand in the middle of the road, you see a cow stand in the middle of the road, it doesn't belong. It's clearly lost. It's clearly something's happened. By you honking at it, you're already adding to a stressful situation for this animal. And what this person proceeded to do was literally drive her, push her down the center line of the road. I mean, you shouldn't touch her, but by honking, the horse kept running, and then when it would stop, the car would honk again, and drove her probably a half a mile, maybe a little bit further away from our place. And I'm in the middle of the road behind this car, flailing my arms, screaming and yelling. Of course, they don't see me. They don't know what's going on. Common sense would tell you, if you saw that situation, especially with a house that close, maybe just stop, wait a minute to see if people are coming out. If nobody comes out, maybe pull off the side of the road and go knock on the door and say, "Are you aware your horse is loose?" This happened when we very, very, very first moved in, and one of our neighbors on, almost a mile away is a horse person, and they came over later in the day, and unknown to us, our horses had got out, and two of them, and she corralled them and brought them back in. She knew they were ours, brought them back in, and basically we have a electric rope fence with the handle that you hook. They broke that off, and she just hooked it up and tied it up so that they were secure. And so I'm not saying you would have to do that to a stranger's animal, but don't honk. And so this really added to the situation. So now my horse is really stressing out. I'm stressing out, and they're driving her towards a T intersection that does not stop, and that traffic moves at 55 miles an hour, and it could potentially have a blind spot. And so she bolted out into that intersection. She could have got hit, and we would have all kinds of problems. Long story short, all ended well. That car turned, and I never saw them again, but I lost sight of my horse. Luckily, she turned the other way and had went up and then circled back through. There's a farm on the corner there, an actual large farm, and circled through. They got a driveway that connects both roads, and came up their driveway, and then she came out back onto my road and came straight at me. And I think I could just, in my opinion, she was scared. And so now she came straight up to me and just stopped, like, "Oh gosh, help me." So I was able to halt her, get her back home, and then I got her tied up to a post, and got her, and then fixed the fencing, and I have a little pen area where I could put her in. I got her in there, and everything calmed down. The rest of the day went fine. Point of my story is that's the kind of thing that, so I had these plans of all these things I wanted to do on Sunday because I had all day, and that pretty much shot it all. So after that, then we had stuff that we wanted to do the rest of the weekend around the property, just basic, more cleanup, weed eating, stuff like that. So I spent the better part of the next day completely redoing our perimeter, our electric fence. There were a few spots that some weeds and tree limbs have grown over and were touching, so it was causing it to short out. And my fault. I haven't maintained it well, and we haven't had it on for the last couple months because we haven't had a reason to. We don't run it all the time, just if the animals start to test it, and our fault. So I went around, cleaned all that up, reset the it's a rope with wire running through it. Got all the rope reset, weed-eated to prevent them from wanting to lean over the fence. That's usually the issue. They want to reach over and eat the grass on the other side, or eat the corn, or eat whatever's growing over there. And that's when we turn the hot wire on, and as soon as they start to, it's just a top wire, it shocks them and they don't do it anymore. So I weed-eated a lot and worked on that. So, and then did it again Tuesday. It's not something that could get done all in one day. It was pretty hot. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I had big plans to get stuff done, and we got a lot done. And we got to spend some time together, and we we had 2 really good home cooked meals, and just things that we enjoy about living where we live. I just didn't get to do some of the stuff that I wanted to do. You know what? That's okay. So as long as you guys can hang with me and stick in, the big picture here. Videos are coming, I guess what I'm trying to say. But life happens, and I have to take care of that first. So that's what I did this weekend. And then after all that, I just needed to just enjoy life ourselves. So I just kind of tuned off from YouTube and just said, you know what, I'm going to take care of maintenance around here, spend time with my partner, and we're going to have, you know, we had, like I said, 2 really good home cooked meals, which we haven't been able to do in a really long time because of our schedules, and just, you know, just enjoyed each other's company. The 3rd and 4th, there's not a lot of fireworks going off around us. But just enough that our one little dog gets a little nervous. So, you know, we hung out with her and kept her, you know, as calm as we could. She gets really agitated by it. She doesn't like thunderstorms, that kind of stuff. The other dog doesn't seem to care. So, I'm going to wrap this up, but just so y'all know, everything's going well. Everything's going good. I haven't fallen off the face of the earth. Very, very busy, you know, just with stuff. But things are great. I couldn't ask for anything better. And on the last note here, I see I'm pushing 20 minutes. I don't want to get this that long. But today is my first day I start training in my new position at work. So I'm pretty excited for that. And then we'll see. You know, I think they were saying probably 3 weeks of training. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe 4 weeks. Just depends. And then I'll actually have to change shifts and go to my overnights, 3rd shift stuff. So we'll see how that goes. That said, everybody have a great day. For those of you that had a holiday weekend, I hope you had a great holiday weekend. I truly hope you had some time to spend with loved ones, and you know, just had a good time. So for those of you that are in an area that don't have the holiday or don't celebrate the holiday, same to you though. I just hope you had, you know, a great week, great weekend, and look forward to the week coming ahead. Thanks a lot, you guys. Sorry the video's a little bit long. I have a ton of other stories I could just sit here and talk about, but I try not to get my videos this long, so maybe next time, all right? Till then, have a great day. Have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, it's always a good day on the farm. Bye now.